Okay, so we're going to be playing another game. Playing another Cthulhu-related game. There's a little bit of a twist to this one, though. It's not mostly Cthulhu. It's just Cthulhu is very important to it,
Go away, you
but
swine! Leave,
more
or
important to
I'll
somebody
make you
else.
bleed!
These all came from the swamps.
You'll hear his
Could be
names
total
pretty soon,
country
and you'll
made.
know exactly what I'm talking about.
Holmes! Help me! Do not fight the calling!
Blood!
I beg of you, Holmes! Today! Relieve your blood!
Oh, no, it can't be. It can't end like this. Again, this nightmare haunts me. It won't let me forget. How did this all begin?
Okay, so I was saying before, this is a point-and-click adventure. A lot of the solutions to the puzzles you're faced with are needlessly convoluted in the face of what a real solution the most obvious solution is not usually the one that is programmed in. So you'll find yourself dealing with logic errors quite often. And it'll get frustrating because the computer will want you to solve the solution in one way. Sometimes when it'll be perfectly obvious to you that this other way is more viable, and you won't even think of the one that the computer wants you to use. So you might end up finding yourself using a walkthrough fairly often.
Good morning, Holmes. Looks like a typical London day. Fog in the morning, fog in the afternoon. Ha, and here's a surprise, fog in the evening.
Good morning, Watson.
Can you imagine? I have been at it since 5 a.m. and I scarcely think my list of patients for the day has even been touched. What is more insufferable, I haven't even had a moment with the morning paper. They say the minister will assuredly... Holmes, whatever is the matter? You haven't heard a word I have said.
It is the tedium, my dear Watson. Life is ordinary, the papers are lifeless. Any hint of audacity, and dare I say romance, has vanished from the criminal world.
Holmes, it is only temporary. You know perfectly well that sooner or later an exceptional incident will occur in London or thereabout, which cannot rest till the talents of Sherlock Holmes are called into play. Then it will be up to your agile wit to set things right, which should satisfy your constant need for mental gymnastics.
I hope the heavens hear your words, Watson. I hope they do indeed.
I must take my leave, Holmes. I have an appointment with a rather odious man, Captain Stenick. He is apparently in a state with near tachycardia due to some problem involving his manservant. Why don't you get out for a brisk walk, Holmes? Perhaps buy a newspaper or visit that fellow, Barnes, over on Glentworth Street. You might remember him, the bookseller. He has some new volumes of the particular sort that should occupy your mind for a time.
Okay. It's really modeled off the Jeremy Brett Sherlock, which is awesome. But Sherlock Holmes is pretty much the best case scenario for a person investigating into the Cthulhu mythos. He is already rather alien. The only thing that you would risk for having him investigate this is not so much going insane as, well, going insane, but kind of in a different way. He wouldn't necessarily become incapable of action. He would become kind of frenzied and frenetic. He was already kind of manic depressive. His intelligence is already vastly superior to most people. Looks like this door doesn't open. Okay. And this is a lot cleaner than I would expect his apartments to be. But he's also a very, very moralistic person.
Strand! Boy, the Strand!
So, my young friend, what is the news?
Nothing of interest for the great detective, sir. Those old stuffed shirts take up half of London at their big scientifical to-do, and some Scandinavia princess is driving the locals wild with curiosity.
A Scandinavian royal is in London? If you and the lads can look sharp and find out more about her visit, there will be some coin for your pockets.
Righto, Mr. Holmes. If there's aught to be found, the irregulars will have it. I'll send the words out to the lads.
It is necessary to keep my informants in fighting form.
So there's a alignment of 7 stars, which will hopefully reveal an 8th star. A Swedish princess has vanished. And some guy in the lighthouse, lighthouse guard has died. Some of these are important, some of these aren't. Somebody found a wig in the Thames. I don't know if that's important. Can't remember. It was a joke. An advertisement. Daring thefts. Oh, Arsène Lupin. That's not connected to the story. Okay. Oh, you can... In first person, you can actually control. In third person, you have to click to make him go somewhere. You can talk to this guy.
Pardon me, I'm looking for the Barnes bookshop. Would you happen to know it?
I know the place, know it well, Mr. Holmes. The bookshop is on Glentwood Street. Take your first right and then the next left, and you'll find it straight away.
Looks like you can't talk to this guy. I think you need a new hat, fellow.
My respects, Miss Fleming.
Good day, Mr. Holmes.
Is she wearing a funerary veil? That's weird.
Good morning, Mr. Holmes. How are you? I have some new novels that should interest you. A nice illustrated volume on fish and a collection of legends on piracy. They must be here somewhere.
I'm not particularly certain that Holmes would really be interested in novels.
Those flowers need watering.
You're going to be looking around for a couple books.
A book about sea fauna.
Ooh, nice. Plain snapper, silver trout, red drum, perch, red porgy, Spanish sardine. Need another book. I think there's another book around here somewhere. Actually, I know there's another book around here somewhere. When he talked about the oh,
Ah, the pirate's book.
there it is. Who pretended to be the lover of his brother-in-law. We now close this chapter on the cruise of famous pirates with the most terrible of the lot, the dreaded Sharks of McGrinty. McGrinty himself is regarded by experts as a psychopath and deviant in spite of his indisputable seafaring skills and qualities as a leader. His refusal to give any quarter to those who surrendered is well documented, in particular his preference for dispatching the unfortunate survivors by either slicing them to ribbons or performing slow evisceration. There is also his well-known unnatural attraction to dead men of the cloth, which supposedly supported by numerous witness statements. Clearly a man of profane appetites and disregard for all humanity. Recent years, his depraved reputation has faded from public awareness, and younger generations know McGrinty primarily from the romantic tales of his famous lost treasure. And the interest is well based, as McGrinty's treasure cache is estimated by the Royal Navy registers as one of the richest of its kind. Gold, precious stones, jewelry, works of art are but some of the riches taken from vanquished ships by this pirate lord and his crew. The biggest mystery is the whereabouts of this fabled booty. No trace of it has surfaced in these long years, nary a gold coin or a scrap of cloth. History tells us very little, and this goes on and on and on. About McGrinty and how the devil he made a deal with the devil, and the devil came to collect his due, and the vampire was turned into a ghost ship. The vampire's ship. And some people, according to those present here, these particular words: from the middle of the three throwing mouths, 30 steps towards the ram. He refused to say more unless he was granted immediate safe conduct to the nearest port and released. His arrogance cost him his head. No account was given of his last words, which were deemed self-serving lies from a villain desperate to escape his final justice. That will be important later, but
I will take them.
Thank you, and goodbye, Mr. Holmes.
and talk to him again.
What can I do for you, Mr. Holmes? I do for you, Mr. Holmes?
Oh, you're supposed to be able to get another dialogue.
What can I do for you, Mr. Holmes?
How did I get that other dialogue before? Oh, well. I apparently looked at the flower too soon. So, oh well. Huh. That means Holmes has less of a chance to act like a jerk. That was close. Very, very close up.
My respects, Miss Fleming.
Hey, look. Does that look like Watson over there? Certainly it does.
Holmes! Here!
Well, you use the caps lock to run in
Good
first
that I
person.
found you, Holmes. As I told you this morning, I visited Captain Stenick. Although his symptoms are not serious, the circumstances which caused his palpitations are quite peculiar. Perhaps you can make something of it. Here is Captain Stenick and Sergeant Ruffles.
Sergeant Ruffles? Okay.
Captain, I understand from Watson you are quite upset.
Any man will be the same, and with less provocation. My servant has left in the middle of the night. Damned ungrateful after all I have done for him. To top it off, he knows not one word of English. Finally, if he causes any damage, I will bear the brunt of people's anger and suffer the consequences, as I am the person who brought him to England.
How long was he in your employment, and is he accustomed to vanishing in this manner?
We returned from Australia more than 5 months ago now. But to his credit, he never left this house before now. He is afraid of the city, as are many inhabitants from open spaces.
Could he have stolen something?
Upon my word, no.
How much money does he have on his person?
Frankly speaking, he didn't have any money. I kept his wages for him, and they are in my safe. In any event, what the deuce would he have a need for money?
Who knew that he worked at your home, and had he any contacts here in London?
Anyone who deals with me professionally knows Baopa is my personal servant. As for his contacts, they are limited to the delivery men who bring food or other items to my home. What reason could he have to see anyone other than myself?
You're a piece of work.
Now then, Sergeant, what is it about, and what elements of the crime do you have documented?
Referring to the official report, the following particulars were taken down. A young Maori responding to the name Baopa was reported missing by his employer, Mr. Stenick. No one in the surrounding area saw or heard anything relevant to this incident. In truth, we rarely concern ourselves with cases such as this, but the lad speaks not a single word of English, and according to his employer, has considerable strength. Considering the wild customs of his native land, who knows what damage he could cause? You must know, Mr. Holmes, there have been a few similar cases reported recently. The facts are much the same. Immigrants from the poor districts have been reported missing by their families.
Interesting.
We expect that some low-class brothel has opened its doors to the local exotics, and Mr. Holmes, you can imagine how word would spread. Mark my words, with his unique looks and speech, you will find this boy in no time. I imagine he'll have nothing worse to show than empty pockets and a delighted air.
That
Doubtful.
is a possibility, to be sure. However, I would be most grateful if you could ask your superiors to send me the reports about those similar cases. I rely on you, Ruffles. Watson, continue your search here. I must follow another lead.
I do like the fact this is the Jeremy Brett. Oh, let me see if there's a crouch command. There is not.
Flaxen, yellow in colour.
Okay.
What a peculiar drawing.
Vague forms that resemble flying fish. Somewhere in here. Oh, here we go.
This
There we
appears
go.
to contain some measure of opium. I shall analyze it at
Baker Street. I cut it off, sorry. Okay. This is where he lived. The axe is untouched. Ooh.
The lock was not cracked.
What little lock there is.
Footsteps. Let's see.
Take.
The size is undoubtedly 7. The shoes are...
Hard soled. I screwed up again. Follow these footprints.
Footsteps. Let's see.
Yep, let's see.
The size is undoubtedly 7. The shoes are also hard-soled.
Yep.
The right shoe is missing a nail.
Cool. Oh, apparently I didn't. Oh,
How strange. This appears to be a fish scale. I shall have to examine it.
more thoroughly under a microscope.
Yes, there is something here. Yes, there is something here.
Okay. Anything else? Nope. Am I running on caps lock? Yes, I am. I'm running. Let's go ahead and do run, though. This is Holmes we're talking about. He's usually frenetic on a case. He'd be running around like crazy.
I have no reason to go there.
Actually, yes, you do.
This should prove useful.
Now, how do I use an item?
I have no reason to go there.
Oh, here we go. Plant fibers.
Fibers? Why are they here? It will be necessary for me to examine this more closely at Baker Street.
I think I got all the evidence. If I don't have all the evidence, this dialogue coming up will be very short. And it'll tell me to go get more evidence.
Come, Watson, we must return to Baker Street.
I got all the evidence.
What do you make of this, Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Stenick, I wish my news were your servant simply left your employment voluntarily for the service of a more honest man. Unfortunately, I don't have that pleasure. In truth, the news is grim indeed. Your servant was seen in the company of 2 men yesterday. One of the 2 is a man of moderate size, very robust, and a mature age. His profession, which will be the key element in our investigation of this affair, will be determined by me within few hours. The other is a young Hindi, who is tall and only recently arrived in England. There is a darker side to these events. Your man was not with them by choice. Rather, the evidence shows he was kidnapped. At this moment, the reasons behind this villainous act are unknown, but rest assured, the truth will not elude me for long. Gentlemen, I wish you a good day. Come, Watson, we must hurry. There is a great deal to do and little enough time to spare.
Holmes, I must protest. You did not spare my client, Captain Stenick. This seems unusually harsh.
That may be, Watson, but now what matters more is to know the reasons behind the kidnapping of this young aboriginal yesterday evening in central London, and more importantly, what has become of him. I must concentrate on a small experiment I will run to test my theories. Please go to the poor Lovelorn Barnes and ask him if he has something on the Maori nation and its traditions. Also, if you should happen to see the newsboy outside, find out what he knows, and if it has value, give him a coin. And for God's sake, don't be a miser, Watson.
A miser? You cost me one of my patients, and you question my level of generosity with your informers? Oh, really, Holmes, sometimes you go too far.
Okay, so here we go. Now, let's start with the cloth, since that's here.
Very interesting.
Good. Interesting is good. How is it interesting? Oh. You have to, once he says interesting, you back out and it gives you his analysis. This is, yeah, originated in India. This is just confirming that there was a turban, likely. Large man with a turban. Okay. So, there we go. Oh, that's gone. So the cloth is gone. Nope. Take the scalpel. Oh, there we go.
The meatball ignited but failed to burn completely. There are, without a doubt, mustard seeds present, probably in exotic form. What could be the other component?
Okay, so we
No,
go
it
over
can't
here.
be used for anything.
Put this up.
Let's see if I can obtain a reaction with the help of my chemicals and apparatus.
Chemicals and apparatus. Yes. So click
No,
on
it can't be used for anything. Now it can't be used for anything.
So, oh, here we go. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Okay, here we go.
Perhaps if I apply heat?
Oh, heat. I can do that. Apparatus is a good term for this thing.
Incredible. I note a strong presence of opium blended with a concentrate of morphine. The remaining elements are a mystery to me.
Opium and morphine. Morphine is a concentration of opium, if I remember correctly.
According to this monograph, the fish scale appears to be from a perch, a saltwater fish with high commercial and culinary value.
Okay.
These rope fibers are clearly hemp. Now, about the origin of these stains. Let's see if I can obtain a reaction with the help of my chemicals and apparatus.
Okay, let's try water first.
Now it can't be used for anything. Now it can't be used for anything.
Let's try spirit of alcohol.
Now it can't be used for anything.
Solvents. There we go.
This is evidently coal soot mixed with water, and given the absence of any salt particulates, it must be fresh water. I should look from the window and see where Watson is.
And now, you're Watson.
There's a good lad. How does it go?
Hello, sir.
My associate, Sherlock Holmes, said you might have information for him about, now, what was it?
The Princess Gav. He was looking for the scuttlebutt on this here princess what we visiting. Exciting goings on. Her bodyguard went missing the first morning after she got here. Nice job to look after a princess's body, innit, sir? They say he went out on the town having a go with the ladies, if you get my meaning. Like as not, he was trapped by some gang of toughs. Otherwise, who'd get the best of him? A proper giant he was by all accounts. Do I get me coins then, sir? Oh, thank you, sir. Obliged, I'm sure.
Yeah, obliged. Obliged is a good way to put it. Let's have you run. Because I don't like waiting. It's not very realistic for Watson to run around town, but oh well.
Good morning. Has your sprain improved?
Good morning, Dr. Watson. It is slowly showing improvement. What can I do for you?
Would you happen to have a book on the Maoris?
If I have one available, it would be on that bottom shelf. Although I'm not sure if I still have that particular book.
Please don't trouble yourself. I will look for it.
Oh look, it's conveniently out in the open. When a Maori has a particularly notable dream with prophetic or moral value, he draws important moments of his dream in symbolic fashion on the soil. It's a talk about Maori's dreams and such. And whether modern living has dampened our senses.
Good day.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Now, if I had managed to get Holmes's deduction about him having a crush on her, and she's gone, then he would be accusing Watson of telling Holmes. Because how else could Holmes know about it? It's a weird place for a doorknob. And there's Holmes.
Holmes, what on earth did you say to Barnes to put him in such a state?
Not now, Watson, although I'm sure this bit of news is most significant. It must wait. We are piecing together a singular affair. This abduction story is much more complex than it appears. As I noted before, our next move is to locate the place of employment for one of the villains who abducted the young Maori. What part of London would such a man call home?
And yes, you get quizzed by Holmes and you have to answer.
Yes, Watson, there is little room for doubt. Our man is a bargeman who works at the Thames River wharfs. He is more precisely employed to transport and handle fish brought in by various ships. Our next step is obvious. We must find a cab and make haste to the Thames, near the warehouses.
Okay. And I think that's 30 minutes, so I'm going to pause the fraps for a moment and double check that. Well, hey, it's 40 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and quit here, and I'm going to save. Yes, I'm overriding that. And exit game.